All right, welcome to another edition of Average Joe's. Today we're at Average Joe's Garage and we're going to do a quick oil change on the Beast. Super simple, so come along and we'll show you how. So just real quick, what you need to do an oil change, it's all kind of laid out in your owner's manual, or you can do a quick search online, but the truth, obviously, always go with what the manual says. So it's going to tell you what kind of oil you need. For the Ram, we need 7 quarts of 0W40, zero weight 40. I got a filter to go with it. And obviously you're going to need a catch pan to catch all the oil that comes out of the drain plug. And then I've got a funnel so that we can add this oil back. Aside from that, I've got my socket wrench ready to go so I can remove the drain plug. And I've got a filter wrench that I use only when I take the filter off because it tends to damage the filter. So when I put a new filter on, I just hand tighten it, but I'll show you how we do that too. Okay, so what you need to do if you haven't been driving the vehicle for a while is kind of let it sit and warm up a little bit, because the warmer that oil is, the faster it's going to drain out and the more complete it's going to drain out. So we let this run a little while. The pan's warm, it's not hot. Just need to loosen it with the wrench. Make sure your catch pan is set and slowly let this go. It's good to have some paper towels handy in case this splashes, which it always does, but I don't. We'll just let that drain out. All right, so we just got a couple of drips coming out. We're going to go ahead and put the plug back in. Wipe that down real good and tighten it up. Now we move along to the filter. So the filters are usually in a tough spot to get to. This one's on the front of the motor up here, and it's got this plastic guard. What happens as soon as you start loosening that up, all the oil will come out. It's supposed to come out this little funnel and drop down, but it goes all over. So we're going to go ahead and loosen that using the wrench, and we'll go from there. Okay, for this one, I'm going to use the wrench just to loosen it. Again, I only use the wrench when I'm taking it off. I don't put it on. I just hand tighten it when I put it on. Start it. Sweet. So we just cracked it. It's as loose as we're going to get it. The looser it gets, the more the oil comes out. So we're trying to keep it pretty controlled to keep it as clean as possible. As soon as you pop that off, it just goes all over. Filter off. Make sure that this rubber gasket, which can detach, sometimes it sticks on there. So make sure that comes off with it as well. But the filter's off, it's kind of draining. We'll wipe everything down and we'll put the new filter on. All right, so we got the old guy off. Got this cleaned up pretty good. We're gonna go ahead and pop this new guy on. Should be a little bit easier. Remember, we're just gonna hand tighten this. We're not gonna wrench it on. Just about as tight as you can by hand. That should do it. Until you can't tighten anymore. That's good. We'll just go ahead and wipe that down, and then we'll put the new oil in. Okay, so it's a big truck, so you got to kind of climb up in here to get at everything. But the fill spout right here, we're going to use our funnel. Dump that all in there. All right, we got our 7 quarts of oil in. Go ahead and pull our funnel out. It's just going to be a little drippy, so catch those drips. Get your cap back on. Make sure it's good, tight. All right, so we got our 7 quarts of oil in. We looked underneath. We don't see anything coming out, so that's good. No drips yet. We're gonna go ahead and fire it up and watch for any drips underneath to make sure everything's on there tight. All right, so fired it up. No drips. Now we're just going to check the oil level. So I'm just going to pull the dipstick out. Give it a good wipe off. And then go back in. Bring it out. Check it. We are between the two dots, so we are good to go. Go ahead and put the dipstick back in. Close it up. And that is that. Okay, so we're going to take our used oil. We'll put it back in the containers we used to fill it, and then we'll just bring it to either your local transfer station or your local auto parts store. I think O'Reilly's and AutoZone, they'll take your used oil for you for free. They just got to log it, and you can just leave the containers with them, and they'll take care of it. So there you have it. It's pretty simple maintenance. I'm going to run some numbers at the end here. We'll show you what it pencils out. I think it's $60 for an oil change. It's probably $40 if you do it yourself. So you save a little bit of money, but you get that peace of mind. So remember, sometimes average is good enough.